Morning, Jonathan. Good to see you. Dear friends, please take a moment to settle in and finding that comfortable posture and checking in with the body today, seeing what the body needs from you to be at ease, relaxed. Maybe stretching out the neck and shoulder and taking time to have that last sip of tea or coffee. And whether you choose today to sit on a chair or sit on the floor or lie down or stand, intentionally choosing what posture that will be most supportive for you today. And let us begin by setting the intention to why we come to practice. And bringing that forward, this motivation of why we meditate, why we choose to be here. And holding that intention in the heart center. And coming back to this body and coming back to the breath. And let us begin with the intentional breath. Breathing in, know that you're breathing in. Breathing out, know that you're breathing out. Please become aware of the sensations of breathing. And as you continue to bring awareness to the breath, also bring awareness to the body and its posture. Noticing if there's room for the body to soften, to relax, to further rest in the posture. Letting go of any rigidity, any way you might be holding on to tension in the body. Is it in the neck, shoulders, the jaw, the face, in the back? Is it in the belly? Or is it in the hands? And with each in breath, allowing, receiving, and with each out breath, releasing, letting go, and softening. You may note the quality of the breath, and upon noticing, maybe there's effort to bring the breath to a healthy breath, a breath that is long and deep, or maybe it's simply to let go of any sense of controlling the breath, allowing the breath to be natural. And you're simply just observing the rhythm of the breath. Resting in the stillness of the breath, and resting in the stillness of the body. whatever emerges in the field of awareness. The invitation is to allow and to get curious to the whatness, the suchness of the experience. Including whatever arises to be a part of the practice. And the antidote that brings us back to the present moment is to apply this love and kindness to any thoughts that might be unresolved, to any discomfort in the body. If it lingers and if it keeps resurfacing, we bring this kindness, this generosity to what's coming up. And you might notice the change in the quality of the breath. And working to remain equanimous to all phenomena. Be aware of the arising and passing away of all phenomena. Thoughts, emotions, feeling tones, sensations in the body, while grounded in the breath, resting in stillness, resting in the calm of the breath, and in the calm of the body. it possible to give yourself permission to rest in the present moment, to rest in the stillness of the breath? Is it possible to give yourself permission to let go? Let go of the memories, the stories, the patterns of mind. To grant yourself that space, that quietness, just for a few breaths or a few moments. Or in those few glimpses where there is remembering to stay here, grounded in your being. hands, do you feel the aliveness of the body today? Are you in touch with that which is beyond the reactive, discursive mind? Are you in touch with that silence, that stillness that's deep within you, that has always been there? It only required that you be still, that you let everything else drop away, that you stopped and tuned into it, and you arrive, you've come home to this this place within the source, the essence, the ground of being. Awakening is living life in this state of full awareness and experiencing aliveness, the aliveness of life within and around us. And it is awakening is when the personality is no longer running the show. The conditioning of mind and all that, the fear, all the anxiety that's telling us that we must be some other way or be doing some other thing to be more of something or better than how we are. All of that also vanish. And we return to this state of being what we already are. So you may taste the experience of awakening in moments when you have stepped into that utter stillness and there is no wishing or wanting to be anywhere other than here. And there is this feeling of being fed, being fulfilled. Exactly the way things are is enough. And that fulfillment is the experience of awakening. And we may have the awakening experience in moments of our practice, in moments of our life throughout our whole journey. That journey of coming back to the stillness within us, which is not a journey of going anywhere or getting to some place, but it's a journey of stopping, stilling the mind and the body, of letting all parts of the ego disappear. And all that's left is this direct knowing and understanding of life as is, of all that is we've been in search for, on a quest to find, to discover, can be found deep within. And so that journey that we continue to go on is a journey to nowhere. And we happily continue knowing that there's nowhere to go, but to experience the flow of life as we still inhabit this vessel and taking all of life in, being one with this human experience. Awareness steps back and see the fullness of this human experience. Awareness receives it, allows it, and accepts how things are. And in that acceptance, there is equanimity, there is peace, there is communing with life. This unity of where the self, this ground of being, is in unity with all things. And so when we come to practice, we are working to see our habit patterns, mental habit patterns. We're working to bring awareness to our personality, the obsessions, the compulsions of mind. And each moment of recognition is a moment where, in that moment, it doesn't run the show. The programming stops. It is revealed to us through the light of awareness. And when we live with this awareness, and awareness becomes natural, the natural state of how we operate, we're always present to the personality, and we include the personality, and we also include awareness in riding along with this personality, seeing our thoughts, our preferences, our views, and our ways of moving through life, through the world. And it is that awareness that has us be awake. I still love that line from Oriah, the poet Oriah, who says, "The question is not why am I infrequently the person I want to be, but it's rather why do I infrequently want to be the person I already am?" So it's not in changing or fixing ourselves to be better or more or different than, but to see these patterns that are hindering or obscuring our ability to be in touch with who we already are, the being deep within that knows, that is kind and loving and wise and compassionate and in touch with and the unity of all things. So as those patterns drop away in our meditation practice, we fully step into our being. We embody our body. We embody our experience. We own it. We feel comfortable being in our own skin, in other words. And there's no longer wishing ourselves to be something other. And so we are no longer seeking for it outside of ourselves, but we are seeking and we're getting in touch with the luminosity within us, the Buddha nature, the kingdom of God within us. May we hold that possibility of awakening for ourselves in this lifetime. And really the practice that the awakened ones, the Buddhas and all the Buddhas before, and all the awakened ones after the Buddha have all come to see the truth, and we too can touch into that. The practice is there, this practice that's been carried on and systematically put into lists and methods for us to arrive at this truth. It is simple, but not easy. And it's also possible to realize in this life when we devote and commit ourselves to these practices. And we don't have to go into some monastery. We don't have to shave our heads. We don't have to change anything in our lives. I was on a retreat with a teacher who apparently had attained some high levels of attainment, and as it's been verified by other teachers, other Buddhist monks. And what she shared is that she is just amazed at how many householder people who live in the world, ordinary people, are awakening just through these practices without needing to put on a robe and going into a cave or a mountain or forest, but just in their life devoting to the practice of meditation and applying mindfulness and perfecting these qualities of patience, of generosity, of determination, of mindfulness, of equanimity, of loving kindness, of all of these qualities, the paramis that leads to awakening, fosters the conditions within for awakening to happen. And so that belief that it's far off and it's not within the realm of possibility can sometimes in itself be what causes us to not practice because we don't see that we're worthy of awakening or that it's not possible. We have to be some sort of saint or someone who already has been born into something, some special condition to achieve it, to attain it, but just to hold that possibility for ourselves. That alone will move us in the direction of our deepest spiritual longing and yearning to the desire to reach our highest human potential, the desire to be of service in the midst of seeing suffering in the world amongst our loved ones, families, and friends and circles, and the desire, that strong desire to understand the depth of our suffering, letting those motivation fuel us into these deep and profound practices. And whether we choose to do that through having a daily practice and also practicing on retreats and maintaining it in our daily activities, it's possible, my friends, for us to have these awakening experiences. It's from uh, what has been revealed and also shared. There are individuals who have spontaneous awakening that we hear of, like Eckhart Tolle or other folks, certain Zen teachers. However, there is also an awakening that for most people is gradual. We have insights in our lives that we always remember, those moments where we turn the corner, where there has been a profound shift within us that left us forever changed. And again, we have another shift, another insight, another revelation. So those moments are gradual awakenings. And each profound insight is another link inside of that awakening within us. And so we practice in our meditation to understand our habits, our patterns, all of the things that come up in our mind, the top 10 things, because amongst the 70, 80,000 thoughts that we have within the day, about 80, 90% of those are all the same thoughts. And it's screaming, it's calling for us to tend to it, to resolve the matters of heart mind. And with Vipassana, with the practice of deeply looking and the practice of samatha, which is to stop. So we stop and then we calm the body mind. let it gather, and then we look deeply at these thoughts, these top 10, top 3 thoughts. What about this? Why does this matter so much to me that it's pulling me away from the present moment? So we work with these patterns, these conditionings of mind that pull us away from the present moment. And when we come to see it clearly, whether it's through practicing, sending it loving kindness through to understanding the suffering, the knot behind it, and working to unwind it, that is where we can now be free from the past that becomes the constraint of us being in the present moment. And so we practice in this way. The Dharma, the teaching is in us, seeing how important, how significant we put value on these things that come to surface in our mind. And we ask ourselves in this moment, what is it that I'm attached to here? What is it that I'm unable to let go of? What is it that I'm holding on to that has me caught or entangled? What is it that I'm clinging on to or unwilling to let go of? And when we can unpack each of these strands of mental impression, the Buddhist term is sankhara, when we can unpack each one of those strands of thoughts, of patterns, of conditioning, and see it all the way down to its particles and pieces, then it dissolves, it's settled, it's resolved within us. And just like that, it dissipates and no longer pulling us away. So, with each one of these thoughts, we can throughout our day notice the compulsion of mind and applying curiosity. Curiosity comes with understanding, that wanting to know, wanting to understand. It's the opposite of judgment. When these thoughts come up in our mind and we judge ourselves, why am I thinking about this? Or aversion to it, it continued to perpetuate and float around. But when we apply curiosity to it, we have an opportunity to understand it, understand the patternings, the conditioning of mind. And now the opportunity of awakening to that is possible. And same applies for the discomfort in the body, the pain that we feel which is a manifestation of the unresolved matters in our heart or on our mind. And sometimes, of course, we also have the physical ailments of the body that is part of being human. The injuries, the aging, and how can we meet all of this, the physical, the emotional, and the mental phenomena with this curiosity, bringing this aliveness to the experience. And so this is where the ground of our work is. So pause there and invite your your voices into the space. What's standing out for you? What's having you lean back? What curiosity, what doubts might you have? Or what possibilities are present? Every thought, every emotion that is revealed, and then we work to heal, becomes integrated into our being. And we become full again, and we feel complete again. And in that, return to wholeness and completeness. Our hearts are full, and our mind is clear. And we can experience a greater depth of joy and happiness in each moment where, in each part of us that's healed, there's space for more joy, for happiness and peace to be felt on a much deeper level. And you know this from those moments that you have that difficult conversation and things are mended and reconciled. It's like the force of life is unleashed within you again, just through that one conversation, that one resolve issue. So in this way, we know that that's the case. And so awakening is when one heals and mends all those parts, all those patterns within oneself, and feels this utter completeness and wholeness, settled with oneself, settled with the world, fed, fulfilled. And then that desire to practice is natural. It's not a I should do this, but then, this I want to sit. Sitting is like brushing our teeth. It's like nourishing ourselves with food or water. It's the place in which the clearing happens. The filtering, the purification.
So I I was very reluctant to say anything because this has been such a profound discussion and experience today. So I apologize to anyone who probably maybe feels like I'm disturbing the equilibrium. And I have to say that, you know, much of my life I spent looking elsewhere, looking up, having experiences and not even suspecting that just this moment now that we live in is where I would find the thing I was looking for all this time. And so I was kind of looking at the ground, hoping to see where the stars were. And it was just like, oh, it's so simple. Um, so anyway, thank you for today.
You're welcome, Rob. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Trina. It was a wonderful Dharma talk. Um, there's so much that you said that I could relate to and feel like, oh yeah, uh, the the deepening of my meditations and or I want to get better at that and feel more enlightened. I've come to a place recently that has been monumental for me, and I feel like I'm on the threshold um, of opening more, of being more aware of seeing things as they are, and I'm really excited about it because I may after being so I guess debilitated physically for so long, it's I kind of hesitate to go out in the world because it's been my world got smaller in physically, but bigger spiritually, and I want to keep that. And yeah, just um, being who I authentically am, and with this awareness, new kind of awareness. Um, well, I don't know how to even finish that thought, seeing things, um, because it's moment to moment. It's just moment to moment. It's not any big uh, thesis around this thought, because I don't even know what that is yet, and that doesn't matter. I just know that I'm right here, right now, and it's a really honor to be able to meditate with other people like all of you, and I'm just really glad to be here. Thank you so much.
sometimes we don't have the language to communicate the experience that we have. And maybe we can either rest in that mm, ambiguity of the experience, or at times it may be helpful to um, work with a guide or a Dharma friend to help contextualize the experience, because it will let the experience land and feel settled within us. Right. Mhm. Yeah, how do you describe something that you've never heard of, or don't know, that you don't know, but now you know what you know, but there's no words that you've read about or heard or to make sense of the experience? So I offer my support and my time to you if any of you wanted to talk and share about your experiences. Yeah, I know how important that is. Actually, a few years ago, 3 4 years ago, I had an experience, many events on a very long retreat that when I left there, I knew that many things have changed within me. And I know in the practice that, mm, especially in the Zen tradition, okay, let it go. Don't put any significance on it. Don't make it mean anything. And then a year later, I went to a retreat to pick up a friend, um, and that this conversation with a random retreatant left me wondering if it was necessary for me to now have the experience be contextualized, right? And that actually set me on a quest, and I met with meditation masters and Buddhist teachers, and actually this retreat here was a completed a this journey of that on this retreat. And it's funny because as I met with this teacher, there was no need to say anything anymore. It was like there was these years of wanting to meet her and knowing that she will be able to help me make sense of this, or be able to verify or speak of this. But when I met her one on one, I was like, ah, it's complete, it's resolved within me. But I did share with her. Yeah. And so it's can be a very lonely when we have experienced something that's so deep and profound and subtle within us. And it's this jewel or gem that we carry around, hidden from everyone. And maybe that's enough. Or maybe we want to be able to express it to a good, wise friend or a guide or a teacher that will help us, contextualize or make sense of what happened or what's here now. And so, however you choose to navigate that, um, just know that these things are, it does come up where sometimes it's good to know. And it helps deepen and release and bring us some relief too for the part of our mind that is trying to grapple with experience. Mm. Does anyone else have anything you'd like to share? John, good morning.
Great to see you back. Very profound Dharma talk again. Very meaningful on so many levels. Just my own experience lately. I have not been as diligent with my practice. And I have felt that in this body. And my overall awareness. I have allowed work obligations and the ensuing stress to be in the forefront. As I return to practice, I'm better able to see what is important and taking care of myself. I don't want to flounder. I want to move forward, be healthy and productive. So thank you for touching on so many good points this morning. It's actually been palpable, the sensations I've had lately. So I know where I need to be. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Anyone else have something you'd like to share before we close? Just want to make sure I give those who haven't spoken an opportunity. Hi, Danielle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to thank you for the lead. The only thing I wish is that I could just do this on the weekdays to just be such a great start. But I do sit in the morning, but don't come with the Dharma talk. It's just me. So it's just so good to be with all of it. And yeah, that's it. I just wanted to thank you. Say hi.
Good to see you.
You too. It's good to see all of these.
And finding those little openings in our day to practice, to sit, whether that is that 10-minute break or 15-minute break, or that moment where the phone is not ringing, where we put out the fires, just carving out that even short period of time as best as we can. And then when the opportunity grants us to sit for a longer period, at least 30 minutes or so, take hold of that. But for now, if we only have 10 minutes, 15, 20, we have that in the forefront of our mind to carve time out and make it happen. And we don't have to sit in any special way. We just sit. We just let the body relax and soften and stop and listen. So thank you, friends, for sharing your practice today and for your presence. It is each one of us that make up this collective collective consciousness, collective awareness and practice. And the blessing of being able to practice in community in this way is so precious and rare. And to feel the support of each other as we are on this journey because it can be really lonely at times when this jewel, this gem we've found is only ours. It can't be seen or reviewed or shown to anyone, but it can be reflected in the sharing, in being with one another, to know that, I really am not alone. I have companions who are also polishing their gem or finding their gem inside. And so, in that way, we know we are not alone. And that brings us a level of comfort on the human experience level. Right? Because while there's the transcending experience, there's also the human part of us that needs to be acknowledged, be seen, be felt, be heard. So thank you all for being here, and I wish you well on the journey of this day, the journey inside of you as you continue in the worldly activities. So may you be well, may you have ease, and may you have success on this journey. Take care, friends.
Mhm.
Ready for blast off to infinity and
Champion.
beyond.